They believed they were eternal, unshakable, unseen, above all. But belief has its own gravity. And when mortals begin to trust not in thrones, but in hands reaching across fire and famine, even heaven feels the pull. Welcome to Bedtime Whisper, where ancient tales come alive and forgotten gods whisper their secrets. Tonight, we reach the final chapter of a tragic myth. This is episode 4, the last chapter in the story of Ishtar, a goddess who chose love over power, humanity over heaven, and belief over fear. This is the final episode, the war between heaven and belief. The heavens had never known doubt. For 10,000 ages the gods ruled, not by conquest, but by certainty. Their names were written into dawn, their laws etched into the bones of stars. But below, something stirred. Not worship, not fear, belief. Chosen, freely given, and that was treason. She walks among them as one of them. Another replies, she does not command, she listens. Then she teaches defiance, by example. Ishtar was no longer just an exile, she was infection. A god who loved without hierarchy, who gave power without price. And so the verdict echoed through creation. End her, end the belief. Far below, Ishtar stood among mortals. She wore no crown, spoke no decrees, but she felt it, a shift in the fabric of the world. The air grew thick, the wind died, even the stars seemed to hold their breath. She closed her eyes, and for the first time since her fall, she feared not death, not pain, but loss of them. The ones who trusted her not because she demanded it, but because she stayed. The first strike came without warning, without trial, without mercy. Fire fell from the heavens, not as punishment for sin, but for hope, for believing in something beyond fear. And Ishtar screamed, not in rage, in grief, for every life erased, because they dared to love freely. From the deep, where forgotten things sleep, she rose. Tiamat, once called monster, now witness. She was not chaos, she was pain. Pain that had never been acknowledged, never forgiven, never seen. And now, she chose a side. Not because she hated the gods, but because she remembered what it meant to be silenced. She could have reclaimed it all: power, immortality, dominion. One step forward, and she would be goddess again. But she looked at the child holding her hand, at the farmer who shared his bread, at the old woman who sang her name not in prayer, but in gratitude. And she understood. If she ruled again, nothing would change. The cycle would repeat. So she did the unthinkable. She refused godhood and became something greater, human. Gods attacked, with fire, with law, with absolute authority. And belief answered, not with swords, not with armies, but with unity, with stories whispered in the dark, with hands clasped in silence, with trust that asked for nothing in return. And the sky cracked, not from force, but from truth. For the first time, the gods felt weakness, not from wounds, not from betrayal, but from emptiness. Because belief cannot be commanded, it must be earned. And when no one looks to the sky anymore, even immortals fall. They did not scream, they simply faded. like myths forgotten at dawn. Tiamat did not destroy. She descended and rested. Pain does not vanish, but when it is seen, truly seen, it no longer needs to rage. She was not erased, she was witnessed, and in that moment, she was healed. Ishtar never reclaimed her throne. She became something rarer, a guide, a protector, a story whispered at bedtime, not to inspire fear, but to kindle courage. She taught no doctrine, only this: to stay, to listen, to believe, not in gods, but in each other. The age of gods ended, not with fire, not with war, but with understanding. Belief evolved. It no longer needed thrones. It no longer fed fear. And somewhere, in the quiet places, a new story was born. Not of power, not of rule, but of love, of choice, of staying. And so, the myth continues, not above, but here, among us.
And maybe we're pretending just to